Guys, this is what happens when it's, I don't know, what's the temperature, like 12 degrees outside? I'm looking like Harry from the Wet Bandits off of Home Alone. We got Savanah Tujague in the house. We're about to pick some bowl games. It is going to be rocking for bowl games in this postseason. It's also good news and bad news kind of in a way. Like, you're feeling great because, yes, it's bowl season, and then you're like, oh, man, it's about to be the end of the college football season as well. So if you're like me and you can relate a little bit, hey, that's good if you're a lover of college football. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pigskin Frenzy on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Joel Norris. And whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Podbean, your Spotify, an Apple, a big thank you for taking some time out of your Tuesday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some college football coverage presented by us. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple, all you got to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X and Instagram is at Pigskin_Frenzy. And the website's www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Guys, she's the daughter of O-line coach Garrett Tujague for NC State. She is the host of On the Sideline with Sav. Ladies and gentlemen, Savanah Tujague. Golf clap. Infamous golf clap. Savanah, what's up? How are you doing?
I'm so good. Happy to be here. Happy we have a couple more weeks that we get to talk about college football. It is not 19 degrees where I am at. I am in Florida, but it is very cold for a Floridian on a Florida day in the winter. So I understand a little bit.
What's the temperature?
Let's see. I would say, if I had to guess, I would say it's around 50, but let's check the exact. Yep, 51.
That's good. It was like, what was it like? It was like 0 degrees yesterday. Then it went all the way down to like -7. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie. And the reason why I'm wearing all this is I went out and was shoveling snow, and then I was like, you know what? Let me come back in and just do the show, right? So, all right. So we're good. We're kind of late on bowl games, by the way, because we had a bowl game the other night, and it was the LA Bowl, or I'm sorry, Bucked Up LA Bowl. You gotta, get the sponsors in there. Washington won 38-10. What was your reaction to that one?
Yeah, so in my family, we just do like a fun family pick'ems type thing. And it's just the 5 of us, me, my siblings, my parents. And I picked Washington, so I'm not surprised that this was the outcome. Obviously, my brother's team played Boise State. It's their rival. I watched them play. In a majority of college football, there is a huge difference between the group of 5 and the Power 5, Power 4, whatever you want to call it. This was a prime example of that. And I'm sad. It was the last LA bowl game.
Yeah.
Forever. So.
Forever. And that's what's so sad. Just forever.
Sad.
Yeah. See, there's a lot of bowl games that are sort of ending. We just hope the Pop-Tart Bowl doesn't end. And we're going to talk about that one here in a little bit. Let's start it off with tonight, because tonight there's a bowl game going on, and it's at 9 o'clock, at least in my time, I believe. It may be in Central Time as I'm looking on the schedule. Troy versus Jacksonville State in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Troy did really good against James Madison, but Jacksonville State's had a very interesting season too. Who do you got in that one?
Yeah, I couldn't pick against my Jacksonville State team. They are my team. If you follow me on social media, I talk about them all the time. It's my goal next year to get to a midweek game up at Jack State. So I have a hard time picking against them. I know they lost their championship to Kennesaw State, which was a huge bummer. And you're right, Troy had JMU's numbers, but hoping for a Jacksonville State win here.
I'll go with Troy. I'll pick Troy close. I know Jacksonville State's had an interesting season, yeah, but I think Troy will end up winning this ball game only because I love the fight they showed against JMU. I probably didn't think that really matters in this one, right? But kind of carrying that momentum of, okay, look, we played a playoff team very close, right? And they can carry that momentum into this ball game and come out with a win. So give me Troy in the Salute to Veterans Bowl. Let's talk about the Cure Bowl. The Cure Bowl is very interesting. That's on December 17th. That's Wednesday. Old Dominion versus South Florida. Old Dominion's had a really good year too. I think they're a 9-win team. South Florida as well. So talk about that one. Who do you have in that one?
Yeah, it's hard to pick a bowl game when your coach leaves for the Auburn job. However, I do think that UCF will end up pulling this one out, to be honest. I think that they are just the better team. I love ODU. I love how they always upset a Power Four team each season, or at least play it close. It's very hilarious and interesting. But give me USF to top off a very well done season.
Yeah, I think UCF's going to win. I think they just have too much weapons and firepower. Todd Orlando on defense is coaching wonders this year on that defense, like I said. So I think Old Dominion will try to show some fight, at least in the first half, but I think South Florida will end up running away with it. I think they're the more physical team. I could be wrong. I may be wrong. Hey, you never know in these bowl games, right? But I think the more physical team is South Florida in this one. Very interested to see what Brian Hartline does down in South Florida next year. So curious to see how that's going to work out. But give me South Florida in the Cure Bowl, and that's in Orlando. So that's in
Yes.
Florida. So that's going to be very interesting. There's a lot of bowl games in Orlando. So 68 Ventures Bowl, also on Wednesday. Louisiana versus Delaware. I got the Raging Cajuns. I'm just going to just flat out pick that one out right now.
Same. Not much more to say about it. Completely agree.
And then you got the Xbox Bowl, December 18th, Missouri State versus Arkansas State. I don't know why there's a bowl game named after an Xbox or named after the Xbox, but I'll go with Butch Jones and Arkansas State. Why not? Let me just pick that one.
Yeah, I have that as well. Truthfully, some of these bowl games I just have to pick based off of the vibes, and
Right.
that was one of them for me.
Right, because there's a lot of teams that you don't really study in this one.
Yeah.
I'm getting to a very I really don't know if I could probably say it. You're already going to pick them, but the home mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Memphis versus NC State. I knew that was on the schedule, so I was like, you know what? Let me just flat out say it. Give me NC State. I got to pick NC State. I think that NC State's going to end up. It's going to be close because Memphis is a really good team, but I think CJ Bailey and NC State are just going to pull out a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, I could talk about this bowl game for a while. That's why we are recording so early in the morning because I am about to drive over to Gaspee to Tampa for the bowl game for this week. If you're unfamiliar with bowl games, it is a week-long vacation, not for coaches' families, not for coaches and players, but for coaches' families. So get to hang out in the week for the week with my mom in Tampa. But yeah, I have watched quite a bit of Memphis this season just because they were one of the teams that was like totally potential for the college football playoff for the group of five spot there for a while. But I do think that the tackles on the offensive line for NC State are just far better than whatever the Memphis defense can bring at them. I also, like you said, CJ Bailey's obviously very good. The defense for NC State has slowly improved throughout the year. And so, yeah, I think NC State definitely wins this one. There's also quite a few Wolfpack alum that live here in Florida that I know are making it to the game. And so not that it will be like a home game. We know attendance at bowl games isn't always the best, but like I have a feeling there will be quite a few more Wolfpack Nation fans than Memphis fans as well. So that always helps.
That's awesome. Look, hey, are you going to be on the sidelines for that one?
I don't love watching college football games from the sidelines, so probably not, but I maybe for the pregame.
Yeah. So you're gonna go over this. So you're more of a like you want to be like like a fan, like you want to be like yes, right? Just be immersed with the crowd, kind of.
That's okay. So no, and here's why. Because
Okay.
if you've never been to Carter Finley Stadium, don't worry. I haven't either. I have never sat in the stands for a game at Carter Finley. The center where all the football facilities are overlooks the stadium, and me and my mom just sit in my dad's office and watch the game. My preferred method of watching college football, if it's my dad or my brother, is alone where I can't hear anybody else's opinions or views or anything, or with only my immediate family enclosed far away from everyone. But if it's just a game that like is not meaningless to me, because all college football games are meaningful to me, but like I don't have someone in my family whose livelihood depends on it.
Right.
I mean, I prefer a box, but
Yeah.
I will sit in the stands.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that though. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was curious because when you went to some of your dad's games, I was wondering like, does she stand on the sideline? Like, where do you go? So I'm glad you answered that. So after all season, from being the week 1 guest picker to the bowl guest picker, now you're like telling me this the long awaited answer. Where does Savanah go to these games? Like, where's her actual spot? At least you don't get to hear all the trash talk and all that. Because wouldn't that kind of make you mad? I know we're going a little bit off topic, but wouldn't that make you kind of mad, like to hear all those opinions like fluctuate a little bit?
Okay, also a great question. No, it doesn't make me mad because this I hope this doesn't come across as super rude, but
No, you're
like
good.
these are opinions of people who could quite literally never be college football coaches for a reason. And so like the opinion of someone who truly is just a common fan and doesn't know anything about the inner workings of a college football program doesn't mean anything to me. But yeah, obviously it's like you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't care about their opinion, but yes, if I don't have to hear it, I would rather not. I mean, it's funny just sitting at a regular football game with fans who are like, wow, the offensive line is doing so bad. And it's like, no, actually, the running back didn't pick up the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just funny in general. But yeah, it's not hard to hear. It's definitely annoying. Do I care? No. But yeah, sometimes it's entertaining to hear people's opinions. And you're like, I wonder where they came up with this opinion.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense.
like sometimes I would comment on your post and then you message me back and go, interesting. And I'm like, okay, what did I say? Did I say something like so? But you're caring about somebody's opinion, like you're interested in someone's opinion on the take. So I
Oh, for
applaud that at
sure.
least. That's pretty good. Hey, you're open to all opinions, right? So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love when people disagree with me and share like their reasoning and it like wholeheartedly. Like I want to understand and see everybody's opinion. So absolutely.
absolutely. And then real quick, let's go with playoff first round matchups before we go back on the bowl games. Because I'm not picking them. I'm not picking them until Thursday. Already announced it. I'm going to announce it at the end of the show, too, about my guest picker. I'm going to pick it with him on Thursday. So, Alabama to Oklahoma. That's the rematch there. Who do you got for that one?
Yeah, it's in Norman, Oklahoma, and that matters. And they already played this year and Alabama won. And a hill I will die on is that it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season. And if you take all of the championship games that happened on championship weekend, the only team that lost twice was BYU. Every single other championship, including FCS, including Group of Five, the person who lost the first one won the second one. Your chances of beating a team twice in one season are about 50%. Everyone's like, that's a lot. 50% is an F. 50% means you failed the exam. And so that is not that much. And so I have seen Alabama and Oklahoma play this season. And while I absolutely think that Alabama is the better team, I do think that Oklahoma wins it.
That's interesting. I can't say anything. I can't say anything until Thursday. The last 2 times they played, Oklahoma has won both, so it could be one of those. We'll see. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'm leaning towards that pick yet. I mean, I got until Thursday, right? So who knows? But then we got Miami at Texas A&M.
Yeah. So for me, everyone knows. If you don't know, I'm obviously an ACC homer.
Oh, of course.
So here's the deal. Also have seen both of those teams play live. I would say that if Texas A&M hadn't lost to Texas, I would absolutely be choosing them. I think that because of that, it shows that they're absolutely beatable, even for the first portion of the South Carolina game. Obviously, Texas A&M also looked beatable. Obviously, they're an incredible team to have come back from that deficit. I don't want to take anything away from that. I think that Mike Elko is an incredible coach, but I think that the Miami D line has the best edge rushers in the country, like literally that I have seen in years. Like I think I said it somewhere else, like the best edge rushers I've seen probably since I saw Aiden Hutchinson play at Michigan. And I know that was more recent, but like that's still quite a few years to have like seen somebody of this caliber. Bain Jr. is incredible. The other one's equally as incredible. And same thing with their tackles. You win games in the trenches, and I think that Francis Mauigoa will probably be the first tackle off the board in the draft. He's super good. Same with the right tackle, also extremely good. And so I think that Miami definitely has a chance to win this one. And everyone's like, they don't play in stadiums like that. They won't understand. First of all, Carson Beck was a SEC quarterback before he was an ACC quarterback. And Hard Rock is a very loud place to play. So give me the Miami Hurricanes. They have nothing to lose and everything to prove that they deserve a spot in the college football playoff. And so I think they steal a win. I think they steal a win in Kyle Field.
And Hard Rock is a pro football stadium and the site of the national championship for this year. So I just want to throw those little tidbit notes out there. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor are really good edge rushers. I mean, they are pro-ready NFL edge rushers. So I don't know if Marcel Reed has dealt with that all year yet. He's about to come Saturday. So we will see what happens. Like I said, not picking the game. Not leaning, and not yet. I can't. I mean, I got to wait for Thursday on that one because we're discussing that one then. But 2 more, and then 2 for the first round. Then we'll move on to the bowl games again. The rematch between Tulane and Ole Miss. Who do you got?
Yeah, again, very hard to be a team twice in the same season. I think that obviously both of these teams lost to their head coach. That's interesting. I will say though, I think Ole Miss wins this one. You can't have every team being upset in the first round of the college football playoff, and I've already picked one. And so the spread is just too big. It's in the SIP. It's all the things. So give me Ole Miss.
Absolutely, yeah. Hey, I'm like I said again, disclaimer, will not pick until Thursday. But guess what? I was right. 2 months ago, I said, look, location-wise, Gainesville's a better location. We're going back to it. But football-wise, I just had a feeling he would pick LSU over Florida. I thought it was going to happen. Like I just felt like between Florida and LSU, he would pick LSU. Now, did I think it was going to go down the way it went down? No.
Interesting. I would have expected nothing less from Lane Kiffin. That's exactly how I would have thought this would have gone down.
Look, I know. I mean, I expected it to be dramatic, but I didn't expect it to be like bigger than it was. I think I was expecting a little bit more of a lesser dramatic or less dramatic outcome than it was. Let me put it that way. I think it's going to be dramatic. Don't get me wrong, but not to this extent. Not like, okay, leaving a playoff team high, like that kind of deal. But if Lane Kiffin hears this, don't, be upset. Or he can troll me. Didn't matter. I would love for him to troll me. James Madison at Oregon.
If you are not following JMU news and media, they are on a generational heater on Twitter. They are so funny. Never underestimate a team who has nothing to lose.
100%.
I know it's in Eugene. I know that Oregon's good. Look, I keep saying I feel like Oregon's overrated. And everyone's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. I never said I think they're a bad team. I think they're an incredible team. I still think they're overrated. They lost earlier this season to Ohio State, or was it Indiana?
Indiana.
I can't remember. Thank you. Yes, that's right. That's right.
You predicted that too. You were on the show and predicted that.
Yeah.
You said, no, it's not going to be Oregon at all. I remember that.
Yes. Yeah. So I apologize. Yes, totally. It was Indiana. I think Oregon will still totally win, but don't count out the Dukes, baby. They also obviously lost their head coach, but Oregon lost both their coordinators. I know both their coordinators are staying to coach in the college football playoff. I love that. I love Dan Lanning. I think he's a good guy. I think Oregon wins this, but I think after that it gets really dicey for Oregon.
Yeah, Chesley's coaching this game as well, I think. I think he's
Yes.
Yeah, yes. He's coaching. He's going to UCLA after it's all said and done. But that's a very interesting hire there. I know he wins everywhere he goes. I think the region to me is concerning, but yeah, because he's always been on the East Coast. But at the same time, I mean, like you said, he wins everywhere he goes. We'll see. I mean, I guess besides Nick Saban, I mean, who knows? I mean, region could affect anyone. So I don't know. I don't know. I may be wrong on that, but that's the only thing that concerns me about that move. But other than that, he does win everywhere he goes. So good. Maybe it's an interesting hire. We'll see what happens. But Yeah, I remember when you mentioned about Oregon. That's a very good take on that because we were talking about we were recapping Penn State and Oregon. Remember that
Yeah,
when you were on the show and
yeah.
I asked you the question, was the Big Ten gonna run through Oregon? You said no. It's gonna be Ohio, gonna be Indiana. You're gonna be Indiana or Ohio State. And I was sort of at that time, okay, I'm sold on Indiana, but not fully sold. Then they beat Illinois, and then they ended up beating up on Oregon. And I was like, I don't think I can pick against Indiana again. And sure enough, picked against Indiana again against Ohio State, and yeah, they proved me wrong again. So
Yeah, no, definitely.
let's see, Idaho Potato Bowl, Washington State versus Utah State. Washington State lost their coach; they lost him to Iowa State. So who do you got for that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, so obviously my brother plays at Utah State and he would kill me if I picked against him. Just kidding. I wouldn't anyways. Yes, Wazoo lost their head coach. I just feel so bad for that program to be honest, but I obviously can't feel bad for them on Idaho Potato Bowl day. So give me the Utah State Aggies. They have lost only a couple this year to all the teams that were in the championship. They were all games that they could have won. So give me Bronco Mendenhall finishing out his season on a high note.
Oh, Utah State for sure, 100%. I think that could be a very interesting game there. It's just the uncontroversial opinion surrounding why with Jimmy Rogers going to Iowa State. We'll see what happens there. I'm gonna pick Utah State, and they'll finish out their season strong. Louisville and Toledo. Jason Candle going to UConn. Very interesting move there. Who do you have winning the Baccarat Bowl of Beans? The Bush's Bowl of Beans.
Yeah, give me Louisville. They really this needs to be like a comeback game for them. They were fighting for a spot in the ACC championship in the college football playoff, and then they fell off massively.
100%.
And so they need this win.
Yeah, after that Miami win, they just went literally
Yeah, and they
down.
were
So
all at home too. So I'm like, maybe it not being at home is what you need. So
100%. Yeah, give me Louisville. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Louisville desperately needs this. I think they're going to come in there motivated and fired up to play. And give me Louisville. I think they get Toledo in this one. The New Orleans Bowl, give me Western Kentucky. I think they're a really good football team. They played LSU very close.
yes.
That's a lot to fix. Lane Kiffin is going to have to work. Yeah, Western Kentucky wins. Sorry, PTSD, I guess, a little bit when I saw that game. Western Kentucky wins this ball game. They're going to come in motivated. They're the better team. I believe they win.
Same. Absolutely.
Let me see. The Frisco Bowl, UNLV versus Ohio. That could be a very underrated game. Ohio's not had really all that bad of a season, but UNLV when it made it to the Mountain West Championship. I'm going to go with UNLV, but I wouldn't be surprised if that one's closer than expected.
Yeah, I actually have the exact same thoughts. I think UNLV will win it as well. But yeah, I expect a better game than I think the spread says on that.
Oh, 100%. Hawaii Bowl is Cal versus Hawaii. I'm going to go with Cal. I think JKS and Cal get it done. I can't wait to see what Tosh Lupoi does in his first season at Cal next year.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about the Tosh Lupoi hire for sure. Obviously, JKS is from Hawaii. It's a home game for him and his family. Give me Cal.
And he's staying. He announced he was staying. He is staying. He is not transferring. He is staying at Cal. So that's really, really good. It is such a sad time when you have to think, are they going to transfer? Are they going to stay? What's going to happen? And is there they're going to renew their contract and just stay at a college? It's kind of like, man, what happened to college football? I keep saying that, but what happened to this sport with all this stuff? This is, I won't go on a rant if I keep going. But the sports bowl between Central Michigan and Northwestern, I'll take Northwestern. Close, but Northwestern wins.
Look, if there's an option for a directional Michigan, give me the directional Michigan, baby.
Okay. That's an upset right there. Central Michigan beating Northwestern. Why not? Hey, New Mexico versus Minnesota in the Rate Bowl. I'm going with Minnesota because PJ Fleck in bowl games with Minnesota is just amazing, and he coaches with his heart. He coaches his heart out in those bowl games every time. So his postseason record's phenomenal. Give me PJ Fleck. Give me the Golden Gophers to win the Rate Bowl.
Yeah, I think New Mexico was a great team this year, honestly. For a team that really has absolutely no expectations, they still somehow exceeded them. But yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. Give me Minnesota.
Oh, 100%. Let me see. The Military Bowl, Pitt versus East Carolina. That's a very interesting game. East Carolina's offense is pretty solid, but Mason Hinesfield is still really good for Pitt. I'm going to go with Pitt. I think it's going to be closer than what people think it's going to be, but I will go with Pat Narduzzi and Pitt. I'll go a 24-17 game. Right? Why not?
Okay, okay. This is a hate watch for me. Not a generational hate watch, just a
Okay.
normal one. I obviously hate Pitt and I obviously hate ECU, but I do think that Pitt will win. I think Mason Heinschel is, like you said, very good. Uh, Obviously, ECU just lost their offensive coordinator to become the offensive coordinator at Ole Miss. I don't believe that he is coaching in the ECU bowl game. I could be wrong on that. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I opened the season playing ECU at NC State. I just don't know that they're that good of a team. Week one, obviously things are different, but give me Pitt by a landslide, to be honest.
Pitt by a landslide. Man,
Yeah,
yeah, John David Baker, their OC, going to Ole Miss. Yeah, that's an interesting hire by Pete Golding. So,
very interesting
that
hire.
we will see what happens. I think he was at Ole Miss
Yep,
before.
he was
So,
he was the tight ends coach before.
yeah, so that's gonna be very interesting. Let's see what Pete Golding has going on for 2026. That Week 3 matchup, I might have to go down to Oxford for that one. Just saying, just to feel the atmosphere and the hostility down there, because that's going to be an interesting ball game there. The Pinstripe Bowl, Penn State versus Clemson. That game could go either way, dude. Honestly, that really could. That kind of makes me nervous because I don't know if I should pick Clemson because I think Clemson's right now has got the better team. But yet again, I also said that during the season. And then look what happened, right? So I don't know. This was supposed to be a playoff game if you want to think about it. Give me, you know what? Why not? I'll go with Clemson. Make it, a little bit exciting. I'll go with Clemson. I think it's going to be closer than people think it's going to be, though. But I think Clemson will end up winning.
Yeah, obviously Clemson has a far more talented team. The way that they battled and won in Willie B for the state of South Carolina, because I know they don't like to call it the Palmetto Bowl in those fan bases, uh, kind of tells me all that I need to know about it. So I think that they're riding a wave of momentum off of that win. It's a very important one. And so give me Clemson as well.
Oh, yeah. I just think I think that Penn State with Matt Campbell is going to be good. He's got to just redo that whole recruiting class, I know. But I think they'll end up being all right. I just think we got to wait a year. So a lot of people, this is my expectation, early expectation for Clemson, not Clemson, Penn State in 2026. I think that it's going to be a decent season, but I don't think it's going to be the season that everyone's hoping for in his first year just because of the recruiting class and everything there. And not only that, he's just getting there. It's going to be a rebuild. So I would say give it until 2027 before we really see Matt Campbell and Penn State just take off. But that's just my thoughts on that. The Fenway Bowl, UConn versus Army. Give me UConn. Why not? Give me UConn. UConn's had a good season. I'm gonna go with UConn. I'm just gonna shoot for it. I'll be bold in it. Won't be apologetic. Give me UConn.
Yeah, I think UConn switched over to basketball season already. I'll never root against the military academy unless it's Army Navy week, so give me Army. They also are pissed. They just lost to Navy for the second year in a row. Navy hasn't won back to back in quite a few years. They got a lot on the line and they're angry.
Oh, 100%. The Pop Tarts Bowl, man, I love this bowl game so much, dude. I'm going to try to make my way down there. I'm going to do my best. The Pop Tarts Bowl in Orlando, Georgia Tech versus BYU. That's going to be a fun game. Had Georgia Tech going to the ACC championship. Didn't, when they lost to Pitt, it was kind of like, okay, you kind of let me down a little bit. What happened? I think Georgia Tech is going to give them a really good game. I think BYU's probably going to end up coming away with a win here. I think BYU's a very tough team. They kind of play similar a little bit, at least with Bear Bachmeyer and Haynes King. They kind of like how they run and they're really physical, right? I just think BYU's the more physical team, and I think they win.
This one's obviously very hard for me. It's my alma mater versus my favorite conference.
Do what your heart tells you.
Yeah, so I'm alienating my alma mater, or I'm alienating all my Georgia Tech people. Everyone knows that Frank Key is my favorite coach in the ACC. Unbiasedly, obviously, I biasedly love Dave Dorn. He's my dad's employer, but he's also a great man. Haynes King, Jamal Haynes, last game at Georgia Tech, and Brent Key coming off the saddest rivalry week loss that I've ever experienced for a team that wasn't my own team in a long time. Give me Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech's good. I think that I honestly think, being a BYU grad, those boys are a little bit more princessy boys than Haynes King and Jamal Haynes. I just think that they're more nitty and gritty. I think that the BYU offense will probably dice up the Georgia Tech defense, but I think that the Georgia Tech offense is probably the best offense that BYU will have faced all year. Utah offense was good. Texas Tech's offense is not as good as Georgia Tech's offense. I think that that'll probably be the best offense they've faced all year and the best quarterback they've faced all year. So, give me the Yellow Jackets.
I believe Buster Faulkner's coaching that game, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's going to Florida, which is a pretty freaking good hire for John Summerall in Florida, honestly. I mean, I love that hire, honestly, but
absolutely.
I think he's coaching that game. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to go with BYU just off of the toughness aspect of it. I just think their defense has been really good. And I think they're better than Pitt's defense. And Pitt kind of did, I mean, Georgia Tech ended up like coming back and trying to win that game, but Pitt was kind of smothering them a little bit in the first part of that game. So I'm going to go with BYU.
However, thoughts on this? They also faced Georgia's defense. And Georgia's defense is better than BYU's defense, in my opinion.
Oh, 100, yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. I mean, either way, they lost.
No, I love your analysis.
No, you're
for thought.
No, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying, but either way, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, Georgia Tech ended up losing, and it kind of broke my heart because I picked Georgia Tech to go to the ACC championship and make it. So they let me down at the worst possible second. Anyway, the giant Pop-Tarts are going to be all over the place. I mean, I'll say BYU wins a close one. Why is this bowl game a thing? The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. I don't understand that one. Sponsors are crazy.
Look, I will support anyone who puts on a bowl game. So I love it. Thank you,
100%. I just don't understand the sponsorship names, though. But hey, look, it doesn't matter. Snoop Dogg, hey, shout out to you. You can hate on me later if I clip this. Fresno State and Miami, Ohio. I'll go with Fresno State. Why not? Let's go with Fresno State. Yeah, let's go with Fresno State. We'll be in agreement there. New Mexico Bowl. I think North Texas beats San Diego State. That's just me. Gonna be very interesting to see what Neil Brown does in 2026.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Same thing. I think San Diego State is good. I just think that North Texas had a great year, and they finished off the season strong with a win.
100%. Yeah. And Drew Mestemaker, solid quarterback. I'm curious to see if he goes either to Oklahoma State or goes somewhere else or what happens there. But I don't think he's going to be at North. I don't really see him being at North Texas. That's just my opinion. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
The Gator Bowl, that's a good game, I think. Mizzou and Virginia, that kind of got me excited. I've been kind of excited about this one a little bit because I've mentioned a lot on this show, like, hey, the Virginia-Missouri matchup in the Gator Bowl is going to be highly underrated. Like, I would watch that one. I think Missouri wins. I think it will be close. I just don't know if they're going to have an answer for that run game, man, with Ahmad Hardy and Jamal Roberts. So give me Mizzou winning that game.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed a trend here, I always pick the ACC
Oh,
team. So
100%.
give me the Wahoos, baby.
Absolutely. And Virginia was an old school of yours, too. So, exactly. Chandler Morris, they played their hearts out against Duke in the ACC title game, which chaos in the ACC, right? I mean, but give me Mizzou. I just think the running game is going to be too much. So I think they'll win. They'll end their season right. And Virginia, man, had a heck of a season, honestly. Congrats to Tony Elliott. I said that Tony Elliott really needed this season, and he deserves it, man. He deserves all the praise for this season and how well he's coached this year. So congrats to Virginia overall. But Texas Bowl, LSU Houston. I'm going to go with Houston. I think Houston will end up winning. I don't think LSU's offense is going to be good enough to keep up, really. But, I know it's Connor Wingman. Don't get me wrong, but still, I think Willie Fritz is a good coach. I think they're going to be motivated and prepared. It's kind of a home game for them. It is a home game for them. It's in Houston, Texas Bowl, in NRG Stadium. Give me Houston. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I do too. I think that Lane Kiffin will get LSU absolutely right, and that LSU will give him every tool to be successful and win a national championship. That just doesn't start with this bowl game. That starts in 2026.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll see what happens in 2026. That a lot of people are saying easy schedule for Lane Kiffin and LSU. Go back and look.
I've never seen an easy schedule outside of Notre Dame's.
Okay. I don't know if I should comment on that or not. Like that was a slow, okay, just easy mic drop a little bit, but also kind of a hit. Is this because of the bowl stuff or like?
No, it's hard. It doesn't matter what your schedule is. It's hard to win in and out every single week. Regardless, Notre Dame played only 2 teams with a defense ranked in the top 100.
I've had various opinions of Notre Dame on this show. One person said it was, I would want to play that schedule. Or I've had people say, man, their schedule's not all that hard. And then there's people who are in the middle about it. So I've had various people on this show have different opinions. So I'm kind of glad I got another opinion on Notre Dame.
I've always been a hater and I always will be, but it is funny to how they always seem to say that if they joined the ACC, they'd win it every year because another team said that too, Miami, and they haven't. So bring it on.
All right, it's a challenge. Hey, Savannah is saying join the ACC. That's what you're basically saying right now. Tennessee versus Illinois in the Music City Bowl. I got Tennessee. I'll have Tennessee win that one. It's going to be very interesting to see what Luke Altmaier in Illinois does in this game, but I think Tennessee will end up running away with the game at the end.
For sure. Obviously, coming off of a loss to Vandy at home, this is almost a home game. It's in Tennessee. Heupel needs to win this one.
Yeah, 100%. I know they got rid of Tim Banks, but they got Jim Knowles coming in for 2026, trying to fix the defense and everything. I think offensively they're just going to have too much firepower against than Illinois in this one. So give me Tennessee to win the game. USC TCU in the Alamo Bowl. I think USC runs away with it. I think TCU will start off hot, but I think USC will end up outmatching them in the end, and Jaden Maiava will put on a good performance and will break out, and then the Trojans get the win.
Absolutely, completely agree. Don't have much to add there. Give me the Trojans.
Iowa versus Vanderbilt, Relia Quest Bowl in Tampa, obviously in Tampa where you're going. So I think Vandy will win. I'm not going to discount Iowa though. I think that's going to be a very good game. I think Iowa will play them extremely close, and a lot of people who think, and it could be a blowout. Who knows? No one. It can go either way. But I don't know. I think they're gonna be a little bit more prepared this year. I think Iowa will end up taking it the fight to Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt ends up winning late. So I'll take Vanderbilt, but it will be very close.
Yeah, I'll give me Vandy as well. I think they'll win. There's just, I mean, Clark Lee seems like a good head coach in what he said after picking a bowl to play in a bowl game and all that, this, that, and the other. I know I was criticizing Diego Pavia and the way that he reacted to losing the Heisman, but that will never take, I can criticize people and what the decisions that they make, but I am never taking away from the player that he is on the field. Obviously, he makes things happen, and that is absolutely something that I know he'll do in this game if for anything to just prove a point. So,
Who did you have winning the Heisman, by the way? I had either Mendoza or Pavia.
Yeah, no, I knew it was Mendoza's to lose. Like I mean, even if you only watched the Penn State game and the Big 10 championship, like he deserved to win the Heisman. He was great. I mean, look, I would love for the Heisman to go back to being an award for just truly the greatest football player in college football and not an offensive award and not a quarterback award at this point, right? It's been 10 years since a running back has won that award. And before that, there was only a couple as well. But I mean, of the four people that were there, it was definitely his to lose. I'm bummed that Rodriguez wasn't there. He should have been.
Yeah, I was surprised Jacob Rodriguez wasn't there. He's had a very solid season. I thought he should have been there as well. I also, you mentioned running backs last year. I thought Genty should have won last year. Genty was my pick to win last year, honestly. No one had a better season to me than him. I mean, I get Travis Hunter, defensive player and wide receiver, two-way player, but I think Genty probably should have won that award.
Absolutely same. I mean, I saw Travis Hunter play in real life. It's been a while since I've seen someone that twitchy in college. But absolutely agree. It's supposed to be the award for the most electric player, and that was an interesting choice last year. So, yeah. No, not surprised that Mendoza won it, and I love it. So,
yeah. Hey, he's getting compared to Kirk Cousins with his interviews, so we'll see what happens. Arizona State and Duke in the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. Give me Duke. You know what? Give me Duke. I was questioning it, but give me Duke. I think Darian Mensah will do well. He's made me eat my words. I said he wasn't really worth the $4 million. Maybe I'm not going to go with $4 million. Maybe he's worth at least the 2.5 or 3 at range, right? He's played really well. I mean, passing the ball, he can sling it, and he led his team to an ACC title game and a championship win. So give me Manny Diaz and Duke.
Yeah, same. This is truly based off of like just facts and games and stuff. And to be honest, Duke has had some very horrible games this year as well. The loss to Tulane, the loss to UConn, like that's just bad and embarrassing. But also on a personal note, there's really only two schools that I hate more than ASU, and that would be UNC and Notre Dame. So I'm also a hater. Give me Duke.
Let's see. The Citrus Bowl, Michigan versus Texas. Trying to think.
I'm really excited to go to that one. I will be at that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Texas. I think they'll run away with it. Give me Texas. I think they'll run away with it. There's just a lot of uncertainty going on with Michigan. I discussed that last week. So give me Texas right now.
Yeah, this will say everything it needs to say. I'm going with Michigan people, so I am declining to comment who I think will win because they will be unhappy with what I say.
No, that's fine.
No, but that tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, that tells us all you need to know. I mean, hey.
Yeah. No,
anyway,
just too much going on at Michigan right now.
Yeah, there's a lot, and it's deep. A lot of people because I've talked to people about the coaching search too and everything, it's deeper than that, man. It's deeper at Michigan right now. Like, it's deeper than a lot of what's happening. So, like I said, deep. So, The Las Vegas Bowl on New Year's Eve. Nebraska versus Utah, even though the Citrus Bowl is on New Year's Eve. But Nebraska versus Utah on New Year's Eve in the Las Vegas Bowl. I got Utah, and I got them winning pretty handily.
Yep, exactly the same. I don't think that Nebraska will have any way to stop their offense.
Oh, yeah, and their run offense, too. Their rushing offense is just solid.
Yeah, and Kyle Whittingham's not going to go out with a loss.
100%. Morgan Scaley getting the job wholeheartedly deserves that job 100%. He's been waiting under the wings. He deserves it. So it's looking like he's not. I don't know if they didn't say he's retiring. People got that confused. He said he was stepping down.
Yeah, I think that's just a verbiage thing.
So you think he is like done, like retiring?
Yeah, the only thing I could see him doing is like retiring and then like re-signing somewhere else to like retire that. Like he's a BYU grad. What if he like went to BYU, coached at BYU for a season so that he could retire a Cougar? I'm not saying that that's what he's going to do or is doing or that I have any information, but like, yeah, I think that was just a matter of phrasing. And I think he's done coaching for now.
No, you're only hoping. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, in 5 years, do I think he might coach again because he'll be bored? For sure. But I think he's done for now.
Yeah. I don't know. I really just don't see him going anywhere else. And besides just leaving Utah and being done. That's just what I take away from it. Yeah. But hey, everyone's saying that he's not retiring. That's what The Athletic at least has said, that he's not retired. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. To wrap up really quick, we'll go with a few more bowl games, and then we'll wrap up. Navy and Cincinnati. Very interesting game. You know what? Give me Navy. I think Navy will end up winning. I think their rushing offense is just going to be too dynamic for Cincinnati. They really couldn't stop Utah's. I think Navy's going to be legit in this one. I think Brendan Sorsby's a heck of a quarterback, but give me Navy.
Yeah, same. Obviously, their offensive line was up for the Joe Moore Award. I love Navy. I'll never root against the service academies. And if you know, I ride or die for the U.S. Naval Academy. So give me Navy.
Arizona versus SMU in the Holiday Bowl. I think Arizona's offense is going to be too much for SMU. I think Arizona ends up winning that game.
Yeah, I think that game will be closer than people think. Like I said, I have a hard time picking against the ACC. But I think if I were to, I won't, but if I were to, this would be the game. I do think that Arizona definitely has the best chance of beating them. But give me SMU by a slim margin.
The last bowl game, before we move on to one final question, because I know you got to go. Duke's Mayo's Bowl, Wake Forest versus Mississippi State. This is kind of an August special for you as we set up the scene. Mississippi State's going to shock the world. Quote, unquote, Savanah Tujague said this on Pigskin back in August when we were on the show. But then Wake Forest is an ACC school. You love the ACC, obviously. And Wake Forest has had a heck of a season. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
I think Wake Forest will win.
Yeah, someone commented and was like, Wake Forest is a bad team. And I just immediately stopped talking to them because you don't know ball. If you think that Wake Forest was a bad football team this year, like you did not watch Wake Forest play or you just don't know football. They were a good team. They were one bad play away from winning pretty much every single game that they lost, besides the NC State one. That would still be their one loss for sure. But they should have beat Georgia Tech. They should have beat Duke. They should have a lot of things. Their running back, why can I not think of his name? He's one of my favorites of the year. Wow. Hold on. It'll come to me. Anyways, I think he's one of the best backs. I think he's one of the best backs in the ACC this year. I've been talking about Jeremiah Love too much that I can't even think of his name right now. But I say all this to say, yes, I think that Mississippi State is a good football team, better than they deserved to get talked about at the beginning of this season. But I do think that Wake Forest will win this one. It's more of a home game for them, too. It's very close to – it's in North Carolina. It's close to Wake Forest. Give me the Demon Deeks.
I think it's going to be very close, actually. I think State's going to put up a fight. I really do. They have nothing to lose. It's a bowl game. They weren't even supposed to be here due to the opt-outs. Like, here they are.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Wake Forest will win. I think Damon Claiborne's a really good back.
Thank you. I could not think of his name. And I talked about him so much this season, but I do. I think he's an incredible back.
I think he's very underrated.
Yeah.
Give me Wake Forest to win the game. I think Jake Digger's done a heck of a job at Wake Forest, man.
Yeah.
9-4 in his first season, potentially. What could they do next year? That is going to be a key. Give me Wake Forest over Mississippi State. And then we'll see what State does next year with Kamario Taylor. If Kamario Taylor stays, that's going to be very, very good. Last but not least, and we'll wrap it up with this. Who are you leaning towards in the national championship right now? What is your playoff looking like? I know you got the first round picks and all that, but who are you leaning towards in the national championship? I may invite you back on as like a national championship guest picker, and we can talk about that game. But that's going to be very interesting. I want to hear what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so if I really break it down, I will say that I think it will end up being a Texas Tech Georgia national championship, and watch me that get clipped and I have to eat my words. But here's why. Obviously, my first round picks, the second round picks. Last year, every single team who had a week 1 bye lost. Do I think that's going to happen again? No, I truthfully don't think that's going to happen again. But I have to imagine that in every level of the college football playoff, there's going to be an upset somewhere. And so I'm ending it with a Texas Tech, Georgia playoff game. And I say that because that means that Texas Tech plays Indiana before that, I think, or Ohio State. I can't remember.
They play Indiana.
Thank you. And I think that Texas Tech's defense is obviously their better side of the ball, as Indiana's offense is their better side of the ball for them, are equally matched. And that, again, one upset has to happen, in my opinion. And so I think it will be that. I think it will be the best team that Indiana's played since Ohio State. And so, yeah, that's what I think will end up in the national championship. I think that Georgia's defense is just too good. And everyone's like, well, their offense isn't good. Well, okay, who cares? He's won a literal national championship with Stetson Bennett as his quarterback, who's like a walk-on. So I don't think Kirby Smart could care less about how the offense is as long as his defense shows up.
I think Georgia's offense is really good. I don't know what everyone says on that. I think they're really good on offense. I think they can control the clock very well. What they do, I mean, they're a top 5 team in time of possession. I mean, to me, I don't know why people say that they're not all that good. I think they have a solid running game as well. They know how to manage the clock, and I think they drain defenses. I really do. I don't know. I just don't. I think it's just a very unique take that people have said that to me.
I think it has a lot to do with the fact that versus Georgia Tech, who had a horrific defense, that offense only put up 13 points. And I think you need to throw everything out the window on rivalry week, so I think it's just different. But, I mean, it is a good point. I mean, if Georgia Tech would have had that defense all season long, they would have been in the ACC championship in the college football playoff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Savannah, thank you for joining us. I know you have to run. You have to go to Tampa because, hey, NC State's got a bowl game to attend to. So I am thankful that you joined us. And, guys, we're out of time. A big thank you for taking some time out of your Tuesday to just sit back, watch, and listen to some of our bold picks presented by us. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like each episode, leave comments down below. Spotify, Podbean, and Apple. All you got to do is just share around with others and follow on there as well. X and Instagram is at Pigskin_Frenzy. The website's www.pigskinfrenzy.weebly.com. Guys, we are super, super grateful for you guys tuning in each and every Tuesday and Thursday. We couldn't do this without you guys. We could not do this without our Lord and Savior Jesus. Without him, we would not be here. So we give him all the praise for putting us into sports media and in college football media as well. Guys, we have a very special guest picker on Thursday, and we can't wait for him. It's gonna be very cool to have him on. He is the founder and owner and CEO of Snapback Sports. Jack Settleman will be on here, and he will be discussing our CFP first-round picks, and we're going to preview and predict those games, talk about his story with how he founded Snapback Sports, and he's a Texas alum as well. So we're going to talk to him about, him going to Texas and attending the University of Texas. So until Thursday with Jack Settleman, I'm Joel Norris. That's Savanah Tujague. We're signing off. For everybody out there, please and always stay the course.